Hey guys, what's going on? Your girl NiaJ back again, and I have the wonderful
Pamela Nicole,
and this is another episode of
Dynasty Queens.
You guys, today's episode of Dynasty Queens was brought to you by our official sponsor, Fashion Nova. Make sure you check out their new summer collection to get your 40% off, and make sure you scan that QR code at the bottom of the screen. So, today we have the wonderful Amina.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. This is so much fun. So exciting. I love it.
Welcome to the show.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, if you could actually share with the viewers a little bit about yourself, like where you grew up and what it is that you do exactly.
Sure. So my story is a long one, but it's a rigid one. It's a tale, that many people are familiar with. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, aka shout out to Brick City.
Mhm.
I grew up kind of rough. My mom, she was, grew up kind of rough. So I grew up kind of rough. My dad wasn't there half the time, but, we know that all things work together for our good. So
Absolutely.
I grew up in Newark, and then when I was in my 20s, I just took a leap of faith. I knew it was God. He just told me to come over to Philly.
Mhm.
And when I came over to Philly, my whole life just changed, and my family's lives changed, and so I've been writing. I've been an author. I've been writing since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
I've been writing since I was a little girl. I would write in my journal, and then that turned into poetry when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then later on, it started to turn into, okay, you know what? Why don't I just write books? And then once I got closer to the Lord, I just said, you know what? Why don't I do things to inspire other people?
Right.
Amen.
So,
Okay.
I've been writing since I can remember. I've always wanted to be an author. So,
Nice.
I love that for you.
thank you.
Absolutely. So, you do have a blog, is that correct?
I do have a blog. Yes. Now the blog is so old. I've been doing it since like 2012.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's just an inspirational blog, Words by Amina.
Mhm.
So it's an inspirational blog, just encouraging people, getting people to be encouraged, inspired by the Word of God, and just the things
Right.
that happen in life. The
Right.
blog it can be from anywhere, talking about forgiveness or just peace of mind or anything.
Right.
But that's what I
Okay.
do. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So I know you said, you mentioned that you were an author, a published author. So tell us about like your first book and how that came to be.
Sure. So my first book, that is my baby.
Okay.
I published that in actually 2014.
Okay.
Very long time ago, but that was a thick book.
Mhm.
That's actually called Single Saved and Seeking Him, Encouragement for the Single Christian.
Oh, okay.
And so how that book came about is pretty much I am walking with the Lord. I'm trying to do it the right way, because for a long time, I try to do it my way,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I want to date who I want to date. I want to see who I want to see.
Yeah, right.
I want to lay up with who I want to lay up with.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And once I got closer to the Lord, it was like, okay, hold on, pause.
Mhm.
He was like, you got to come out of that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Yes.
so it really came about. It's just me telling my experience. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm going through these various things,
Mhm.
there's other people that are going through this as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna write it out.
Yes.
Write the vision, make it plain, right?
And make
So
it plain.
Yes.
I love it.
so
Yes.
that's the first book. And so the second book that I wrote, it was during the pandemic. It
Okay.
was in 2020.
Mhm.
And how that came about is pretty much, we were all locked in, right?
Right,
We're
right.
Almost.
We were.
I mean, where was we going?
Exactly.
Nowhere.
We weren't going no place. I'm sure you had time on your hands to
Nowhere.
Plenty.
And so many people were going through so many things mentally, emotionally,
Yes, right.
psychologically, and even financially, right?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
And
Definitely
so
financially.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to write an inspirational book, and it's
Mhm.
called Wholeness.
Okay.
Just a journey for mental and emotional health,
Mm-hmm.
That's
just for
beautiful.
healing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, and you know what's funny? A lot of people didn't know that they were going through all types of mental trauma. You don't deal with it until you're forced to deal with it, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And so when you're locked in the house for about a year or so,
Make it big,
especially
huh?
with a spouse or a significant other that you thought you wanted to be around the whole
Right.
time.
Yes. Yeah.
But so if we were faced to deal with ourselves during
Yes.
that time.
Yes.
And so I just said, you know what, let me write something that I feel like everybody can relate to right now.
Mhm.
And that's just seeking God about, just, okay, how do I get healing? And one of the things that one of the chapters in the book, Wholeness, is called T is for Therapy.
Okay.
We
Ah.
think that, there's a stigma, and it looks like it's changing, but I feel like therapy, there's nothing wrong with therapy.
Right.
It's helpful.
Yeah,
We need therapy.
that's true.
We need
It
people
is.
to talk to.
Absolutely.
And so why not talk to somebody that's actually trained to help you?
Right.
So this book is about all types of stuff, just codependency, canceling codependency. Sometimes we depend on other people.
Yeah.
We depend
Sure.
on the applauses of other people sometimes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
Right.
I wrote it and I felt, you know what? My journey, my writing is just to help other people.
I got you.
That's it.
I love
Inspire
that.
other people.
I love that.
So yeah.
So as far as inspiration and inspiring other people, have you done any like talk shows? Have you done any, seminars of any sort?
Speaking into existence.
Yes.
That's what we're doing, y'all.
Manifesting.
Yeah,
What?
Listen, speaking into existence. No, so I actually have a podcast. It's
Okay.
called Faith to Faith Podcast.
Ah.
And that came about during the pandemic.
Okay.
The idea came about and I was just so nervous. I was like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on camera. I
Right.
don't want to. But you know what? I said it's the same thing as a blog. You're still encouraging people.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's
Right.
just your voice, right? And
Yeah.
so once I did the in 2021, I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and just do this podcast.
Right.
Encourage people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Encourage people.
I think that's really cool that, you were a little hesitant to do that at first, but it seems like every time that God speaks to you, he says, no, you got to do it. And you just have been
Yeah.
listening.
Listen.
And that's good to have an open ear because a lot
Yes.
of people, kind of ignore the signs. So I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
If you could actually also talk about you being a CEO over Words of Heaven.
Yes.
So go into
Yes.
detail. Let the viewers know what that is about.
So Words from Heaven, that came to me a long time ago, right before, I think it was like maybe 2013, 2014. I was looking, I'm like, you know what? Why don't we always look to other people to give us a seat at the table.
Right.
And so I was like, no, you make your own table. You know what I mean? You make your own table. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and self-publish.
Okay.
And so Words from Heaven, I was like, okay, God, the words that I'm about to write, it's from heaven. So
literally, right?
Like, I hear you.
and so I have been publishing my own books. It's only 2,
Okay.
but I am believing God to be an author of several books, several just and having speaking engagements. And so it's we don't despise small beginnings.
Right.
And
Yes.
so I'm so grateful for Words from Heaven Publishing. I'm grateful for everything that God is doing right now.
Right.
You are truly blessed, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm grateful. I
Yes,
am. Just the
ma'am.
ability to be able to write something and someone read it and say, this really touched my heart.
Right.
Or this really helped me. This
Right.
really
Yeah,
changed
for
my
sure.
perspective.
Yeah.
That means everything to me
Right,
than
for
anything
sure.
else, So
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, going back to your podcast, do you have that available on like Spotify or Apple
is,
Music?
It is on Spotify. It is on Apple. It is on Google. It's everywhere that you can hear
Oh, very
podcasts.
good. Very good.
Yeah, so that right there, and for me, each guest, I try to have someone inspirational on. Each guest, they're a blessing.
Right.
I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
grateful for the people, even being on this podcast. It's just the people that you meet.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so some of the people that I've had on my podcast, they become friends. We
Love
haven't
that.
even lost touch. We actually
Yes.
hang out. And so I'm like, God, I know this was you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
so
Always.
the podcast is just, it's great.
Another outlet to do that.
Yes.
Question for you, Amina.
Yes.
So along the journey, because it seems like you've been, on this spiritual journey,
Oh,
spiritual
yes.
awakening, what is a life lesson that you've taught yourself? Like within writing and everything, the words that you want to put down for others, what life lesson have you learned? Very significant life lesson
When God tells you to do something, then do it.
to do it.
Don't
Okay.
doubt.
Don't
You
doubt.
can't pay attention to what other people are saying. You can't pay attention to people doubting you.
Yeah.
You can't pay attention to anybody else's opinions because a
Right,
lot of
right.
times when God tells you to do something, it won't make sense to everybody else.
Yes.
It won't make sense.
Right.
And that's your faith. He said, according to your faith,
Uh-huh.
so shall it be, right?
Right.
And so it has to be according to your faith. And so I think my biggest lesson over the past few years have been just do what God says.
Okay.
Listen for his voice and just do it.
Mhm.
Never mind what in anybody's faces. You just got to
Yes.
do it.
Right.
So.
Okay.
So you did mention poetry, and that intrigued me. So I do love good poetry. What is one of your most memorable poems that you've actually written, and what was it about?
Okay, well, one of the last poems I wrote was a very long time ago.
Uh-huh.
I would have to say it was about just growing up in the hood.
Okay.
Growing up rough, growing up without, lacking. And that's that, I think a lot of people that grew up in the 80s and 90s, they can kind of relate to that.
Okay.
And so I don't remember the title, but I can remember a lot of times I would write down my feelings and they turned into poems.
Right.
And I think it was kind of therapeutic for me. So, yeah.
I can relate because I do the same. Anytime
Really?
I'm in my feelings about anything, whether it's positive or negative, I understand.
Journaling.
For sure.
Yes.
Helps.
It is therapy.
It is.
It is.
I love it. Yeah.
It is.
If you could share with us a little bit about the Spotify workshop
Yes.
that you attended.
Yes.
Yeah. Let the viewers know all about that too.
Let me find out you're all in my business.
Well, we did our homework, We want to make sure you're able to
No,
showcase
I
yourself.
love that. I love that. So yeah, I actually, since my podcast is on Spotify, there's no more Anchor, but it started on Anchor and it is on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was they have these workshops for podcasters, and you have to submit your information. And in my mind, I'm like, they're not going to want me on there. I'm just going to submit it anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Take a leap of faith. But in my mind, I'm just like, it's not going to happen.
Right.
I get an email that said, congratulations, you've been selected. I'm like, what?
Yes.
And so literally about almost a week ago, it was last Monday.
Oh, wow.
It was literally, it just
fresh.
happened. It's very fresh. And so I went to Brooklyn, New York to Spotify, and we went in for a workshop. I met other podcasters. We networked. They gave us a whole workshop class about different things that you can use, things that other people don't know. It was really good. And so I was so grateful just to be there and experience that and just get to know other podcasters. It was great. It was a great experience.
That
I
seems
loved
like it
it.
was so much
Fun.
fun.
It was.
An eye-opening opportunity. Like, wow, like I've
It was.
made it.
Yes.
Well, okay, yeah.
I think small steps should be,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
So that's really awesome.
It is. I was very grateful to be there. And like I said, I met some really awesome people. And just being in that world, it's
Right.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Like-
Exactly.
It's Spotify. Hello.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was an amazing experience. I love that you guys did some homework. Come
Of
on now.
course,
Come
of
on,
course.
journalism.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it. I love
Absolutely.
it. I love it. But yeah, I wanted to, speaking of going back to the books, I just wanted to just present you all with your
Oh,
own books.
gosh, thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh.
So those are
Okay.
yours. Yes.
This is Amina's book.
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all see right
So
there?
sweet. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. You're very welcome. I wanted to gift those to
Oh,
you.
wonderful.
Hopefully they are a blessing to you both.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You
Where
know.
can the viewers find your book, Amina?
This is on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
It's actually it's an ebook and print. You can
Okay.
find it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble,
Nice.
wherever books are
Wherever
sold.
books
They're
are sold,
sold,
baby.
yes.
I would say, and you know what's great about these books? Shout out to King Rush Publishing, my
Okay.
guy. He
Wow.
really blessed me. He really, the cover,
Yes.
everything. He really
I like that.
helped me out. Shout out to Fred
Love
Rush.
it.
Wonderful.
Shout out to Fred Rush. He's the man. He really stepped in and helped your girl out. But so those are actually, like I said, digital
Okay.
and print.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
if you want to just go ahead and put it on your phone, tablet, you can go ahead and read
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So that's all King Rush Publishing. That's his
I
word.
love that one. I'm going to enjoy reading this on my flight home.
Right, for
Yes.
sure.
You know, it's going to be a good read. I'm excited.
I was gonna ask. So, what's like? I guess a two-part question. What chapter is really like the one that sticks out, and then what one was the most difficult to write?
I'm going to
emotionally.
say the very first chapter,
Okay.
confront to conquer.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times we don't want to confront our own issues. And if
Right.
you never confront your own issues, you'll never conquer it.
I
You
love
can't
that.
conquer whatever you don't confront.
Yeah,
True.
Absolutely.
And so that is very personal for me. I have issues, okay? I'll be the first
Don't
one to
we
say
all?
it. I'll be the first one to say it. But the Lord has been really dealing with me. Like, listen, these things are things that I want you to defeat. I want you to overcome. I want you to conquer this so that you can help somebody else to overcome it and to conquer it. And so you have to take that step in and say, you know what? If God shows you something about yourself or you notice something about yourself, confront it.
Yes.
So you know
Right.
what? I want to change this about myself. This
Right.
is not very nice.
Yeah.
Let's change this. And so that very first chapter, we have to really, learn how to confront whatever the issues are that we're dealing with in order to conquer them. And so I would say that one. And also there's a section in there talking about anxiety and depression.
Oh, wow.
That's very personal to me because for a very long time, I shunned it. I act like it wasn't there.
Right.
I act like it really wasn't there.
Right.
And so for me, I've always been the strong one in my family among my siblings.
Yeah.
I've always been the strong one, the one people come to talk to, the one people just come to for prayer, you know?
Right.
And so I don't have time to be weak. I have to be strong.
I understand.
I don't have time to worry about my own issues. I don't have time I have to tend to everybody else.
Yes.
I have to pray for everybody else.
Right.
And so a lot of times if you're not dealing with your own issues, it sits there,
Yes.
right? And so it's sitting there, but you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with frustration, you're dealing with depression, and you're not addressing it.
Yeah.
And so this book was very therapeutic for me. I addressed it. And so
wow.
I feel like I can sit down and read this.
Yes,
within
look, like
an hour or
she is
two
speaking
and
to
really
me.
get
Like
it.
I'm just like she said anxiety. Hello.
Yeah. But I can relate
Yes.
for
Like,
sure with being the one who people come to for advice and being the empath and being the one who always knows how to pour into others when you really have to learn how to pour into yourself.
To yourself.
So this will be a good read for me too because I'm learning as I go. You know.
Another chapter in there talks about self-care.
Okay.
Self-care. I know we talk about it's a big thing now, self-care, right?
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
so I really didn't until I started to write this book, I didn't really understand what does that mean. And even now to this day, I'm learning I mean, you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a big thing. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't really love yourself.
Yes.
That part.
And
Very
so
true.
I'm so grateful for just the book itself.
Yes.
The book itself.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You know, you really speak to me as far as like the spiritual, like when we're talking about, spiritual self-care. You have the physical as well. You know, there's just so much you have to like put into perspective with everything.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah,
it's really hitting home for me.
Mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so for me, even me, lately I've been like eating salad. I'm so tired of salad. I'm tired of eating salad. I'm tired of drinking. I got a big jug of water. I'm tired of drinking water. But my thing is, Amina, you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
That's a part of self-care.
Right.
Eating right, working out.
Yes.
It's not just you can pray and all that all you want to. But you have to do the work.
Absolutely.
You have to do the work.
Absolutely. You only have this one body.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You know, this
That's
one
it.
body.
Yeah,
For sure.
Exactly.
It's our temple. I agree.
What would you say is probably the most difficult lesson, either in your adolescence or adulthood, that you've had to deal with?
That's funny that you asked that. And I'm going to keep it real. The first thing that comes to mind is trusting people.
Okay.
Trusting people.
Yes.
That's a good one.
And I think that comes from childhood.
Yeah.
There were a
Okay.
lot of things that happened in my childhood where it made me difficult for me to trust people. And so as I became an adult, I'm like, I'm very skeptical of people.
Right.
No, I
Even to
understand.
this day, I'm
Yes.
very skeptical of people.
Right.
But the more that my trust grows in God, I seek the Lord about everybody.
Yes.
Because He knows the heart of every person.
Yes.
And so as I trust Him and He tells me who to trust, that's who I trust.
Right.
Love
If
that.
He tells me, don't trust that person, but that's been one of the things lately that I've learned. And it's been difficult because you put your trust in people
Yeah.
and they break that trust.
Right.
And it's hurtful.
Yes.
And so,
It is.
and one of the other things, speaking of that, I would have to say forgiveness.
Oh, okay.
And that's also in the book too.
Okay.
But I would have to say forgiveness. I think of people who've hurt me, disappointed me, but then I also look at myself and say, Amina, you've hurt people, you've disappointed people. And so
Right.
the same grace that you need, other people need.
Yeah.
And so how can you hold someone accountable? Yeah, it hurts. But how can you hold someone accountable for something when you've done something to someone else?
That's
Ooh.
true.
And so I'm learning. I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
Still can get the paws on you. But I'm not there. But I'm learning to just, forgive, love people,
Yes.
Right.
And that's difficult.
That is
very difficult.
especially if you feel like you've been burned and hurt by somebody. So
Mhm.
I can agree.
Yeah.
So without, I guess, giving away too much, what would you say would be some tips to even get started on that journey of the self-reflection and taking, understanding hey, I'm not perfect and I got stuff to work on. What's the first step you would say?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. The first step that I took, and my advice to others would be just to form a relationship with the Lord,
Okay.
seek Him in prayer,
Yes.
and just allow Him to deal with you,
Yeah.
get that stuff out of there,
Mhm.
and then just sit with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've learned to enjoy while being a single woman is to enjoy my own company. to enjoy my own company. I'm a stickler for the movies. I'm a stickler for going to somebody's fancy restaurant and sitting at the bar watching TV with my little food.
Yes.
I'm a stickler for if you don't enjoy your own company, how do you expect someone else to enjoy your company?
There you go.
Take
And
yourself out on a date.
exactly.
Yes. Treat
and
yourself.
so for me, it's just been spend time with yourself, get to know yourself, get to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You know what your strengths and your weaknesses are.
Of course.
And so deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
Just deal with that stuff. So
Right.
yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. So you're talking about fine dining and all this, and spending time with yourself. Where's probably one of your favorite places that you've dined at?
I'm gonna say, what's the place? There's so many places. King of Prussia. See, you guys are not from Pennsylvania.
No.
You guys are not from Pennsylvania. Okay. So there's Founding Farmers. I love that place. Their mac and cheese.
Okay.
We see King Rush over there shaking his head. He loves it. So they have this. The spread for brunch is crazy. It's bananas. It's bananas.
Oh, really?
So I mean, you can get salmon.
Place counts.
You can get salmon. You can get fish. You can get whatever you want. It's really good. You can get mac and cheese. You can get. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah.
And the food is like delicious.
I love.
So I'm gonna say, yeah.
You know.
We'll put that on our list for next time.
Right. Exactly.
You girls will love it. You girls will love it.
I love that.
I know aside from the fine dining and eating, you said you also like to take yourself out to the movies and stuff. What's one of like your favorite movies, either current, like that's out right now, or maybe like from the past?
I'm gonna say, so I noticed y'all not gonna expect this, but I am a big X-Men fan.
Okay. Talk to me. Talk to me.
So I'm a big X-Men fan. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't been to the movies since the pandemic. I'm good.
Okay.
I can watch it at home. I'm all right.
There you go.
But I am a big Marvel fan. Anything Marvel, I'm good. I love it.
Good.
That's just me. I know that y'all wasn't expecting that, but
I didn't know what to say. I love it though.
I'm here for it.
Who's your favorite character in X-Men?
I'm gonna say Logan.
Okay, Logan.
Wolverine.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my guy.
It's funny you say that. I kind of see a correlation, like Wolverine actually coming into his own,
Oh,
coming
come
to
on
himself
and
and
stop
realizing
it.
who he was.
yeah.
You
Look.
know, so I see where she's coming from. It
I
kind of
thought
all links back to the book.
I thought she was gonna say the Phoenix because
Oh, yeah.
That's one.
But she went rogue later on.
Yeah,
She got kind of crazy.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But that strength, though. I mean,
yeah. Very true. Very true. Very
Right.
true.
Well, what about Marvel? What is your favorite movie? And it's a double question. Who's your favorite character?
Okay. So favorite movie, I have to say it is X-Men First Class.
Okay.
And so my favorite character in that one, it had to be, who is it? I love Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
He was in First Class.
Okay.
And then he had this strength to absorb energy.
Yeah.
And he could exert it any kind of way he wanted to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I'm thinking about that like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
To be able to consume energy
Yes.
and exert it any kind of way you want to.
Right. Yeah. That's
But
good.
you're living proof. You're doing that here.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
You're literally doing that. That is hard.
It correlates back to her.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I think that's kind of like the idea of how these characters are formed. Like you have to be able to see yourself in them. To appreciate. A lot of people it kind of goes over her head, but she kind of
She's
gets it.
tapped in. You know,
Right.
she's tapped in.
Right. For
I
sure.
hope I'm tapped in.
Right. Now, on a serious note, for people who, you're saying just, believe in the Lord, trust in the Lord. There's some people who don't know the Lord. They haven't been taught the Lord.
Yeah.
So how do you just find him for those who don't know him?
Yeah. I would say the first place to start is the Word,
Okay.
the Bible.
Right.
Over the recent years, I have been, I'm also a minister, and I mean, I love the church. I love church. I love the house of God.
Yes.
But your relationship with Him is first
Yeah.
Yes.
and final.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would say spend that time with Him, get into the Word, and just sit. You know what I mean? I feel like people feel like you got to go to church 5 times a week, once a week. You don't.
Right.
Your
No, at all.
relationship, and that from that relationship, you will go to church.
Yes.
You will want to be with like-minded people, right? But just forming that relationship with Him first.
Yeah.
Just sitting with Him, reading the Bible, and the Word is God. And so if you're reading the Bible, you're reading Him.
Yes.
You're getting to know Him. So that's why I would say
true.
start out.
So how long have you been a pastor?
I'm not a pastor. I'm a minister. Don't do
minister.
that.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't put that on me. Whoa. No, so I've been because that's a load. That's a load to carry. I would say I've been a minister since about 2018, 19?
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so that's, to me, that's just a title.
Yeah.
It's what you're doing with that.
Yeah.
What are you doing to help other people, draw them closer to Christ, and also just to bring in souls to the kingdom. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Amen
You're a
to
servant.
that.
That's all. That's all it
Yes.
is. You're a servant. That's all. And so, yeah, I don't usually tell people that because they're like, "You what? You a?"
Right. She's like, look.
They expect you to be a certain way,
Right.
and I'm chill. I'm not like super holy. Like that's not who I am.
Right.
You can't really draw people in being like that. You know what I mean? I feel like you need to be authentic.
Yeah.
You need to be transparent.
Yes,
and
for
that's
sure.
me. I'm just transparent. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
And I love this energy. I have a friend in Vegas. She's actually a minister out in LA, and she gives that. She says she gives that godly bad bitch energy. She got the long nails. She got the fake lashes. She got the pixie cut. She doing it, you know. And you would never think. She's tatted everywhere. You would never think she's a minister.
Right.
So it's like y'all all come in all forms. It doesn't matter, you know. Just like we all come in, you know.
Yeah.
Christians come in all forms.
They say come as you are. So,
Amen.
You know.
I mean,
look,
it is what it is, and I think for sure, like I said, we have to be transparent. How can you relate to others if you're not being real?
Right.
Exactly.
Right? And so you can't win anybody like that. And so I think for me, as I continue on this journey of ministering to people and encouraging people and, you know, just trying to draw people to him and not me. It's just be authentic, be real. Tell things about, talk about the things that you've been through.
Right.
Talk about the things that you're struggling with right now. Right? Talk about the things that he's helped you get over, you know? And so if people don't hear that, they don't want to hear anything about the Lord.
That's true.
They don't want to hear it.
Relatable.
Yes.
It has to be relatable.
And so, that's my spiel.
As far as like, you know, giving to the community and everything, do you participate in any nonprofit organizations?
I am working on my own nonprofit.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm
wonderful.
working on my own nonprofit.
Nice.
I was involved in, should I mention this? This is actually our producer, King Rush, his wife, her nonprofit. I was involved in that, Purposeful Weight.
Oh,
that is one of
wonderful.
the nonprofits that I was involved in. Very purposeful. Of course, it's called Purposeful Weight. But also, you know, I'm working on my own. I really have a heart for the homeless.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I really have a heart for the homeless. There are so many people that are without.
Yes.
So many people that are just lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just talking about, I'm not even talking about spiritually. I'm talking about physically. They're just lost.
They are lost.
They're just lost.
Right.
And I grew up around a lot of addicts.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it was drug addicts or alcoholics, I grew up around. That's all I knew when I was a kid. And so seeing that, I never wanted that for myself, but it gave me a heart for people that struggled with addiction. Right. And so a part of that is ministry also, but I feel like I really want to have some type of nonprofit where I'm tending to the homeless, but also tending to those that have addiction.
Yes.
They have addiction. So that's in the works.
I love that.
I really like the aura and the energy. It feels like you're bringing a new modern day age to what it means to really pour in and give back, even with your ministry and everything you have going on, because you are relatable.
Yes, very much so.
So I think this book is going to go really far, for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely.
So, are there like any other things that we don't know about you that you want to share with the viewers?
Not right now. Some things are brewing. Season 3 of Faith to Faith podcast will be out this summer 2023.
Okay.
I'm so excited about that, and I'm excited about this episode.
Yes.
I'm just grateful for everything that God has in store, not just for me, but for you guys as well. So,
thank you so much. We appreciate it for sure.
Yes.
Now I know we were talking about being saved and single.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, ma'am. So, if you were to get back into the dating realm,
which I am.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, she's looking. Okay. What are your top 5 things you look for in a man?
Y'all put me on the super spot.
Man.
God-fearing man. There we go. God-fearing man.
You know she ain't going for nothing else.
Listen, and it's tempting. You hear me? But no, he has to be, of course, number one, he has to have a relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
I have to feel like you at least know the man. You at least know him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And so have a relationship with the Lord. I feel like I need him to be loving and patient and kind.
Oh, yes.
I feel like there's so many. I need that to be a real trait. Like seriously,
right.
loving, patient, kind.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I need to actually love the person. Like love being around that person.
Yeah.
We need to
Right.
be best friends.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I feel like also whoever this person is. And I don't want to say this because I feel like it knocks so many people out the park, but it is what it is.
Yes.
I'm grown out here.
Okay.
I feel like at some point in your life, you should be established.
Ah, yes.
You should be
Agreed.
established.
Right,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
I
You know
feel
what
like
you
I
mean?
have run into so many, and this is not to knock anybody. I mean, you meet people at different stages in their
Of
lives.
course,
Right.
of course.
I just feel like at some point, you should have certain things in place.
Already
You know what I mean? I'm not, listen, I'm far from a gold digger. I have my own. I don't need anything. And that's
Yeah.
just the way the Lord has me set up. It is
Right.
what it is.
Yeah.
But let's come to the table with something. Each of us comes to the table with something.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like this person needs to be on a journey to healing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to me crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little, you know what I mean? But I feel like we both need to be on that journey of just healing and just trying to be our best selves.
Yes,
And that
for
is my
sure.
thing. I'm so big on becoming the best version of yourself.
Right, absolutely.
And so I know you said 5 things. I just off the top, I can't, but I feel like for me, we have to be on the same path.
Absolutely.
We have to have similar goals. We have to be equally yoked. And
Yes.
equally yoked, when people hear that, they think of church all the
Yeah.
time.
Uh-huh.
It's not always about church because you
Yeah.
can both be in church and not be equally yoked.
That's true too.
that.
Yeah,
Right?
very true.
So we have to have the same mindset about money.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
we have to have the same mindset about children, how they're raised.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We have to have the same mindset about, I don't know what you went through as a child.
Mhm.
You don't know what I went through as a child.
Yeah.
You could have went through trauma
Mhm.
and so could I. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Let's come together. Let's go on this journey. Let's
Right.
continue to heal so that we don't hurt each other.
Yes.
So I hope that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
People
Look.
don't do that. They'll bring their baggage,
And jump from one relationship to the
right?
next.
And
Yes.
not be healed at all.
No.
Wanting
And-
you to fix them.
And add more trauma
And
to.
add more
And then be mad at you because you don't want to deal with it.
Yes.
No, thank
No.
you.
Right.
Mm.
I'm good. I got
Right.
peace over here. We
Yeah.
we stand inside this,
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like the same empathy
Uh-huh.
I want,
Yeah.
I want to give.
Yes.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so
gotcha.
even though we all have issues, and I'm not expecting a perfect man.
Mhm.
I'm not
Right, right.
expecting anybody to come to me with no issues or any baggage.
Yeah.
But let's work on that.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
the same grace, like I said, the
Yeah.
same grace that I want,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give.
Right.
And so
I
I
love
heard
that. I love that.
mhm.
Important. So along those lines.
Oh gosh.
Look, she's like, what are you gonna ask me now? What is your ideal first date?
Okay. And I've actually had this.
Okay.
They ask you ask me what I want, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So I like to go, I love day dates.
Okay.
So I've gone on dates to the beach and then we'll go out to dinner.
Oh, that's
Like, so
nice.
I love dates that last all day.
Yeah.
Spend time with me,
Yeah, get to
sir.
know me. Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Spend time with me. So I've actually gone on dates where we've gone to the beach.
Yes.
We've gone out to eat after that. We
Mhm.
went out for, dessert.
Yeah.
And so
Ooh.
I like the breaking down. You know how you go out to dinner and
Yeah.
then you have it all at once, dessert,
Right. Mhm.
appetizer. Let's
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
different
Spread
places.
it out.
Let's go to different
love
places.
that.
Let's
Love
go
that.
here for our appetizer. Let's go here for our main course.
Right.
Then let's go here for our dessert.
Oh, that's
And that all of that, all the time, we're still getting to know each other. We're
Right.
still talking.
Right. Feeling
Yeah.
the vibes and everything.
Vibes.
I have never heard of
I
that,
haven't
and
either.
I love it.
That's
I
my
Yeah,
love
it's
idea.
that.
like date, like you're hopping
Mhm.
locations.
Yeah.
Yeah, throughout the whole course of it.
And then on top of that, we're both, being in the car with the person is very intimate.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
y'all two in
yeah.
the front seat.
Talk and
So
stuff.
that whole time we're very,
Close and
very
talking.
cozy.
I love it. I love that.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So, what does that person have to do to get that second date with Amina?
That's a good question.
Because a lot have blown it.
Oh.
Right. So maybe two.
No, I would say if I walk away feeling like, yo, the vibe was amazing.
Mhm.
He was very respectful.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
The conversation was great.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can get a second date.
Right.
Oh,
For
beautiful.
sure. You were respectful. The
Mhm.
conversation was great.
Yeah.
And we both had a great time.
Mhm.
And we've been laughing the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Listen, you get me to laugh?
Yeah.
If I'm laughing the whole time,
Right.
You good.
I know I'm in trouble. I know I'm in trouble.
I love it.
Yes.
I love that. So with your ministry and everything, can you tell us about, where you preach and everything?
I don't preach right now. I'm not
Oh,
trying
okay.
to.
He's not trying to.
I'm taking a break. I'm
Okay.
taking
The
a break.
break,
I'm taking
okay.
a break. I feel like the podcast is enough.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to shy away from it, but I feel like God is calling me to preach.
Ah.
I don't. I'm trying to run from it, but I know it's inside of me.
Gotcha.
'Cause
Gotcha.
I'm behind the scenes. Sermons are just bubbling up, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, God, I don't want this. Because it's not an easy road.
Yeah.
It's not. And I'm really not asking for it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You already know that's your cup of tea. You got to just go on right on with it.
I'm not, but I feel like God is putting me in spaces where I have no choice but to speak in front of people.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So, what was it last year? I was grateful, so grateful, still so grateful for the opportunity. I'm a communication specialist for the school district of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And so that is a huge, when I say God has really blessed me in this position, I have access to, I'm doing media relations.
Yes.
I am out there with the news cameras.
Oh, wow.
I'm side by side with the superintendent of the
Right.
school district of
Yeah.
Philadelphia. And so even now I'm actually putting together an event, end of the year event for the seniors and the teachers throughout the year. It's for the Board of Education. And so
Okay.
I'm going to have to publicly speak at this
Yeah.
event.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I mean, for me, I think it's God getting me exposure. It's God getting me
Yes.
ready. Like,
Yeah.
listen, either way, you're gonna be public speaking, so
Yeah.
you might as well
Right.
go ahead and get ready.
Right.
And so, I can honestly say the few times I have preached,
Yeah.
it was the Lord.
Mhm.
It was because
Yes.
I'm not. When I say I'm not a public speaker,
Mhm.
I'm not a public speaker.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I have had such a fear
Mhm.
of public speaking.
Yeah.
To the point where I've gotten sick in my
Yeah.
stomach.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
bad.
Wow.
It's gotten bad.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's gotten bad.
It's gotten bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I will say each time that I've preached,
Mhm.
when I look at the playback,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's not me.
That's not you.
It's not
That's
me. Who
you.
is that person?
Wow.
And so I know that it's something that the Lord has called me to do. It's not
Yes.
definitely something I want to do,
Mhm.
but it's something that the Lord has called me to do because when I'm looking, I know it's not me.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I gotcha.
Wow.
I gotcha.
That's really deep.
That is deep.
It is.
Man.
Yeah.
So I know that we were discussing, your tenderness for like the homeless and everything.
Mm.
Now I know you being from New Jersey and everything. Do you have any plans on helping the homeless in New Jersey as well as Philly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
I rarely go back I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I rarely go back there. And a part of that reason is it's kind of a bittersweet experience for me
Uh-huh.
because it brings up old memories for me.
Gotcha.
So I don't really like to go back there. I'm like, I'm good. But
Yeah.
I know at some point in my life, I will go back to help other people. And so
Okay.
I would
Gotcha.
love to have an establishment there as well as Philadelphia.
Love that.
I would love to because I still have family there.
Right. Okay.
You know, I still have friends in Jersey.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And so when I go back there and just seeing all the places, it looks different, but just seeing, and for me, one of the things that gets me is when you see people that you grew up with
Uh-huh.
and it's bad for them,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
they can either be on drugs or,
Mhm.
prostitution.
Mhm.
And it's
Right,
like, I
right.
grew up with this person.
Yeah.
They live right down the street from me. We used to
Right,
play.
Right.
Yeah.
That gets me.
Oh,
that
yeah.
touches me. And I'm like, Amina, who, if not you, then who else?
Who was
Why
gonna
not
do
do
it?
it?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
for sure.
I love that. I love
too.
that.
I love
You
it
know what
too.
I could see her doing? In Austin, Texas, they have a program with the state where they have built these 3D homes for the homeless. And they can just come and go as they please. But it's a
Really?
nice, like, little 1-bedroom with a twin bed.
Mm.
Just somewhere for them to rest
Lay
their
their
head.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
and help
Yeah.
them with jobs and everything
Yes.
else. So I definitely could see something like that.
Yes.
For, you getting that on the
I
works
would
for the
love
East
it.
Coast.
Listen, I'm working on it. I really feel like, and then so many people, once they, like you said, once they get themselves together,
Yeah.
help them get a job, help them
Right.
weasel their way back into
Exactly.
society. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so I think a lot of people need they need that.
Right.
They don't know. A lot of people haven't been to school.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dropouts,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
And so, they need that person to come alongside and say, hey, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. I look back at my life,
Mhm.
the people that have been in my life, the people that have helped me along the way. I didn't
Yeah.
always know what to do.
Right, exactly.
And so I look back and I'm like, Amina, the same way someone else helped you. I
Mhm.
remember when I first came to Philly, this is a crazy story. So when I first came to Philly, it was literally by faith. I didn't know any. I was 27 years old.
Uh-huh.
And so when I was living in New Jersey, everything had dried up for me. It was just like I broke up the boyfriend that I had been with for like 8 years.
Oh,
we were about
wow.
to get married.
Mhm.
That just canceled out.
Right.
Oh, wow.
We're not going to get into details. But it was a wrap for that. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, and I had been to Philly a few times. And I remember I came out here and I just felt like, I don't know, I felt stuck. Like, you need to be here.
Mhm.
And so I just took a leap of faith.
Right.
And literally, I remember my old pastor, he was like, don't move to Philly. That's not God.
Mhm.
I remember people telling me, old friends, you don't even have a job out there. What are you doing? Why are you going? But I'm just like, I'm like, God, if I'm supposed to move out here, you changed my mind, but I felt like he was pulling me.
Right.
And I couldn't shake it. And
Right.
so when I came out here, it was just like a whole new world opened up for me. Like I said, I wasn't just blessed. My family came out here and their lives turned around, their lives changed. And so it was that leap of faith
Right.
just coming out here. And like I said, I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
I had to go back and forth from Newark, New Jersey to
Wow.
Philadelphia every day until the Lord opened a door here for me. And when I look back and I see how he has really done what he's done, it took some time, but I knew I heard him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
so when I look back and see all the people that he brought alongside me, I remember I was going on job interviews. I didn't have clothes.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I would have literally people come alongside me and just bless me.
Yeah.
Come to me with bags of clothes, like nice suits.
Right.
I mean, name brand suits.
Yeah.
So I can go on interviews.
Oh.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And so when I think about people who have come alongside me and helped me,
Mhm.
it's like, Amina, how can you not come along
Right.
someone else and help them?
Get
So,
that.
Exactly.
I love that. That's so beautiful.
yeah.
Yes.
So with everything that you do have going on, Amina, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
For sure. I'm definitely going to, the next 5 years, married.
Okay.
Yes,
One
ma'am.
kid,
Right.
one kid, just
Yes.
one, just one. I just need one. I'm not trying to run around a bunch of. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Just
I
one,
heard that.
but no, married and actually just developing that nonprofit organization.
Yes.
I definitely see myself preaching.
Okay.
That's not what I want,
Right.
but I see it. I can
Yes.
feel it.
You can feel
all
it.
over
It's
me.
all
You know what I
over
mean?
you.
And so I can definitely see myself in business,
Okay.
taking this podcast to another level that I have,
Right.
into ministry of
Yes.
some sort globally.
Right.
And I definitely see myself really opening different places, and even in fashion. I can see myself in
Ooh.
fashion.
Yeah.
I'm definitely working on some things for that, but I see myself being a businesswoman,
Okay.
but not just a businesswoman for myself, but even having conferences and classes and what do you call it? Master classes
Yes,
to
classes,
teach
yes.
other women how to
Right.
do the
How to
same
do-
thing.
right.
I love
Yeah,
that.
so.
I love that.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
Can I say me? No.
Well,
My biggest inspiration? That's a hard one. I don't really. Right now, I would have to say my mother.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. When I was a kid, like I said, I grew up kind of rough. And just watching her going through drug addiction and different things like that. And it was tough to watch.
Yeah.
It was tough to watch. And, her decisions, they affected me. They affected my
course.
siblings. And so watching her now, she's a deaconess at church. She works in hospitality, but she works for the school district of Philadelphia as well. And so watching how God has changed her life around, that is an inspiration to me. That's an inspiration to me.
Right.
I'm sure at times she gets discouraged, but just watching her,
Right.
that's an inspiration. Anybody
Absolutely.
can change. Anybody's lives can change.
Right.
God can do anything. So, yeah.
I love that.
I feel like your journey is kind of the force that manifested all of this. But you kind of took it and ran with it in a positive light.
Yes.
The stuff that you were exposed to, being around all the drug abuse and the people that were down and out, and you really are really pouring into folks. So that's really, really something that is commendable, and it is a blessing. And you are out here doing really good work.
Yes.
So I'm sure everything that you're trying to work on is going to manifest.
It is.
Within probably
Yes.
soon within 5 years.
I agree.
You know,
I
we're
agree.
gonna see Amina preaching. We're gonna see Amina preaching.
Look.
We need an
Oh,
update.
gosh.
We need an update.
Yeah, we definitely need an update.
Update,
Just to see what's been
See
going
what's
on.
going on for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything else like that you want to share? Like, what's something like that you like to do activity wise? I know you mentioned like the day dates and stuff, but what else do you like to do? Like, let's say you're going on that second date. What is the expectation?
Oh.
He made it to date number 2.
Oh, expectations.
Now, it's levels to it, right?
Yes.
So now,
Expectations. So I try not to put any expectations on
Okay.
anybody, but I would say as far I'm not like a big bowler. I'm not like a big bowler, but I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. You threw me off with that one. I don't know. I do like to I like to travel a lot.
okay.
So I'm a beach person.
Yeah.
I live at the
Ooh.
beach. I
Yeah.
literally was at the beach almost every other weekend this past winter.
Oh wow.
I was. But no, I feel like weekend trips.
Weekend
I'm a
like
getaway girl. I'm a
Oh, I
getaway.
love it.
I've never said that before. Getaway girl.
Getaway girl.
Yeah.
But I like to get away. I like to
Yeah.
go away for like days at a time. Like I
Yeah.
love that. So yeah,
Right.
spas. We could do a
Spas.
spa day. I love that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of beaches, best beach you've been to?
Best beach? All right, so let's switch it. Let's flip that question. The beach that I'm trying to get to right now is Malibu Beach.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to Malibu.
I've been there.
I'm trying to
You
get to
would love
Malibu at some point within the next 12 months.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
has to be Malibu.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And only because I feel like it's considered a wealthy,
Yeah, it definitely
Place.
is
Yeah.
for sure.
but it's just,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful place. I have
Right.
to get there.
Yes,
Yeah.
with all the
Or
beach
just take it all
houses and
in.
yeah,
Mhm.
you would love it.
Mhm.
You would love it. Might I also recommend Santa Monica Beach
Yes,
as well.
Really?
Santa Monica's really nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
For the vibes.
So there's a show. I was just talking to someone. She was from Cali. So she recommended that beach as well. She recommended, what is it? Venice Beach, just because
Venice Beach,
it's
uh-huh.
touristy. It's very
Yeah.
touristy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But also there's a show on HBO called Little Lies or something like
Yes.
that.
Little
That
Lies.
town, it's called, I think it's, what is it? It's not Monterey. Is it Monterey?
I don't remember.
It's a
what it was.
beautiful beach town with
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
cliffs and
Right.
like I said, I love peace.
Yes.
I love quiet.
Yes.
I love just calmness. And
Right.
so yeah, I'm gonna listen. I'm out. I'm in Cali
I
this
love
year.
it.
I'm sorry.
She's outing.
Come on to the West Coast, girl.
Okay.
Yes.
The thing is, I feel like if I go, I'm not coming back.
Oh.
you know.
If I go, I'm not coming
You
back.
know.
What if you're calling us to preach on the West Coast?
Yeah.
Listen, I would welcome it.
Yes, she's ready.
Welcome that. Like, no, I really that is my hope to really get to Malibu Beach this
Okay.
year. Yeah.
And you will. And you
Right.
will.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know you said you like to journal and stuff. So is there like a book that's on the scrap table right now? Like, in the archives getting,
It is. There's
Okay.
several. So it's funny. I'll start on a book and then the Lord will be like, scratch that right now. Do
Uh-huh.
this one. You know what I mean? So I'm like, so I have books on the side that I
Okay.
have not even touched yet.
Oh, wow.
And I'm grateful for that. But I
Yeah.
feel like there are books that I can literally do
Mm-hmm.
on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
Now, with your books of faith and everything, have you
Yes.
ever considered writing a children's book?
You are in my head.
Girl.
Oh my
Girl.
gosh.
Girl.
Yes. I am definitely thinking about writing a children's book. That is on the table for sure.
I love that.
That is
I
on the table.
absolutely love that.
Like a series.
Oh,
for
that's
children.
beautiful.
I love that.
Good.
What do you
Mhm.
think the premise would be? Like, what would the message be for the youth?
Self-image,
Okay,
Oh,
that's a good one.
Wonderful.
learning to love yourself,
Mm.
Yes.
accepting who you are,
So
regardless
important.
of what race or shade you are.
Yes.
And so I think the development of the mind and our self-image, it starts when we're
Yeah,
young.
it
It starts when we're
definitely
young.
does.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
so
Yeah.
I think that'll be the premise of the first set of books.
I love that.
Ooh.
We have to teach them early, you know?
Yeah, definitely do.
For sure.
I feel there's so many amazing and exciting things coming your way, Amina.
Aw.
Your energy radiates.
Yes.
Aw.
It permeates. I feel it.
Yes.
You know,
Okay,
I'm just
for real.
like, she's such a ball of energy and light, and the way
She
that
is.
you're able to turn around your situation and like just,
Yeah.
you
It's
have
inspirational.
Inspiration.
It really
She has a
is.
strength,
Thank you.
a certain strength within her that she possesses. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
we love to hear it. We love to see it. You guys, one more
Yes.
time, do not forget, this is Amina's book. Okay, you can get it wherever books are sold.
Yes.
And then also go ahead and plug your socials. Where can the viewers find you?
So Faith to Faith Podcast is literally Faith to Faith Podcast. That's on Instagram. Miss_Amina_. That's me on Instagram. You can find me Amina Maybank on Facebook, Twitter as well. Words from Heaven on Twitter. I'm everywhere. Holler at me.
Wow.
Hey.
Well, there you have it. And another official episode with Miss Amina. Thank
Yes.
you so much once again.
Thank
was
you,
some pleasure.
ladies. You
Absolutely.
ladies are beautiful. I love
Oh,
it. I
thank
love
you.
it. I love it. Queening, yes.
I love it.
Yes.
So once again, guys, in closing, my name is NiaJ.
And I'm Pamela Nicole.
And this has been another episode of
Dynasty Queens. See ya.